Hello, esteemed guest. My name is Nexomite. Today, I'm going to be doing something pretty freaking insane. Now, if you haven't watched part 1 yet, there'll be a link down to it in the description below. Today's video will be the sequel to that video. So if you're new here, basically the premise of this series is to make a movie that an AI made for me. I had to cut it short yesterday because basically I did a script reading in another video, but it turned out that freaking script reading was very freaking long, okay? That it could be its own freaking video. I've decided to make the video right here, right freaking now, okay? Now, I've copied it onto a notepad because I'm too poor for Word, okay? Alright, so we have our script. It is called The Evil Werewolf. And now this is a screenplay by yours truly. And now, I just want to say this video is going to be uncut, okay? So you're going to get everything, okay? Even stuff you didn't expect, okay? So, and if you don't want spoilers for the actual movie that comes out next Friday, well, not this Friday, but the next one, okay? We're gonna be going head to head with WandaVision, all right? I recommend that you skip this video if you don't want spoilers, okay? Because this script is a doozy, okay? Interior house afternoon. Large nipples garden and Mr. Steve N is arguing with daring actor Miss Rebel Wilson. Now, if you don't know who Miss Rebel Wilson is, I recommend you search it up. Steve tries to hug Rebel, but she shakes him off. Ooh, we got a bit of freaking drama around here. Steve, please, Rebel, don't leave me. Rebel, I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm looking for someone a bit more brave. Someone who faces his fears head on instead of running away like a freaking wuss. Steve, I am such a person. Rebel frowns. I'm sorry, Steve. I just don't feel excited by this relationship anymore. Rebel leaves. Steve sits down looking defeated. Moments later, somewhat funny depending on my mood, Bible man, Mr. Jesus Christ, barges in looking flustered. Steve, goodness Jesus, is everything okay? Jesus, I'm afraid not. Steve, what is it? Don't keep me in suspense. Jesus, it's the werewolf. I saw an evil werewolf kill a bunch of old ladies. Steve, defenseless old ladies? Jesus, yes. Defenseless old ladies. Whoa. This freaking werewolf is evil, man. Bloomin' heck, Jesus. We've got to do something. Jesus, I agree, but I wouldn't know where to start. Steve, you can start by telling me where this happens. Jesus, I was... Steve says, you can stop... Jesus fans himself, and sorry about that, I lost where I was. Jesus fans himself and begins to wheeze. Maybe he should. For the almighty Jesus Christ, he freaking doesn't get far without a ventilator, does he? Steve, focus, Jesus. Focus, Jesus. Focus. Where did this happen? Jesus, house. That's right, house. Steve springs up and begins to run. Exterior, a road, continuous. Steve rushes along the street, followed by Jesus. They take a shortcut through some back gardens, jumping fences along the way. Exterior, house. Shortly after, Mr. Twinkie, an evil werewolf, terrorizes 2 old ladies. Steve, closely followed by Jesus, rushes towards Mr. Twinkie, but suddenly stops in his track. Jesus, what is it? What is the matter? Steve, that's not just any old werewolf. That's Mr. freaking Twinkie. Oh frick, Mr. Twinkie, these two have got some freaking history, don't they? Jesus, who's Mr. Twinkie? Steve, who's Mr. Twinkie? Who's Mr. Twinkie? No, Siri, I wasn't talking to you. Oh, freaking hell, Siri, you ruined where I was. Who's Mr. Twinkie? Only the most evil werewolf in the universe. Jesus, blinking knickers, Steve. We're gonna need some help if we're gonna stop the most evil werewolf in the universe. Steve, you can say that again. And then Jesus literally says it again. And he goes, blink your knickers, Steve. I'm not trying to say the N-word. It literally says knickers, okay? Steve, we're going to need some help if we're going to stop the most evil werewolf in the universe. Steve, I'm going to need flying banana. Lots of flying banana. Mr. Twinkie turns to see Steve and Jesus. He grins an evil grin. So he grins and then he changes it to something evil like this. Like that. That's pretty crazy. Mr. Steve and we meet again. Jesus. You've met? Sick bastards. Steve, yes, but it was a long time ago. Exterior park, back in time. A young Steve is sitting in a park listening to some soul music when suddenly a dark shadow casts over him. He looks up to see Mr. Twinkie. He takes off his headphones. Mr. Twinkie says, would you like some milk? Steve's eyes light up, but then he studies Mr. Twinkie more closely and looks... Siri! I'm not talking to you. Shut up.
Okay.
Thank you, Siri. Siri's gonna be a big problem in this video. Alright, where the frick was I? Okay. Steve, I don't know, you look kind of evil. Mister, me? No, I'm not evil. I'm the least evil werewolf in the universe. Steve, wait, you're a werewolf? Steve runs away screaming. Now I know what Rebel meant by calling him a freaking wuss and a puss. Exterior house, present day, Mr. Twinkie. You're a coward then, and you're a coward now. Jesus to Steve, you ran away, you little bitch. Steve, to Jesus, I was a young child, what was I supposed to do? Steve turns to Mr. Twinkie. Steve, I may have run away from them, but I won't run away this time. Steve runs away. Oh, for frig's sake. Oh my god. What a freaking pansy. He freaking ran away. He is a coward. He turns back and shouts, I ran away, but I'll be back with flying banana. Mister, I'm not even scared of you. Steve, you should be. I mean, Mr. Twinkie hasn't done anything except kill a bunch of old ladies, and Steve is freaking running. He doesn't want to be like a freaking old lady, I guess. Interior bedroom later that day. Steve and Jesus walk around searching for something. Steve, I feel like I left my flying banana around here somewhere. Are you sure? It seems like an odd place to keep a deadly flying banana. Oh. Steve, you know nothing, Jesus Christ. Chris, shit. Jesus, we've been searching for ages. I don't even think they're here. Suddenly Mr. Twinkie appears holding a pair of flying banana. So he's got a pair of one flying banana. That's very cool. Mister, looking for something. Jesus, crikey, Steve. He's got your flying banana. Steve, tell me something I don't know. We got a bit of teen drama going along, a bit of High School Musical freaking bromance. Alright. Jesus, the Earth's circumference at the equator is about 40,075 kilometers. Steve, I know that already. Yeah, because that's freaking, everyone knows that, okay? That's embedded in your brain, unless you're America, who doesn't even know where America is. Ray, have you seen the Jimmy Kimmel videos? I'm getting sidetracked, okay? Alright. Jesus. Hates big nipples. Mr. Twinkie is appalled. Dude! What the hell? While Mister is looking at Jesus with disgust, Steve lunges forward and grabs his deadly flying banana. He wields them triumphantly. So, it's a flying banana, but he has to wield them like Mjolnir. Mjolnir. Is that how you say it? Mjolnir? I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. If not, well, that's okay. Steve says, prepare to die, you evil potato. Mr. Twinkie, no please, all I did was kill a bunch of old ladies. Rebel enters, unseen by any of the others. Steve, I cannot tolerate that kind of behavior. Those old ladies were defenseless. Well, now they have a defender, and that's me, says the guy that ran away of innocent old ladies. Mr. Twinkie, don't hurt me, please. Steve, Give me one good reason why I shouldn't use these flying bananas on you right away. Mister. Because Steve, I'm your father. Now that's the big twist. Alright, I just threw a freaking Ryan Johnson at you. Try and hold on. Alright. Steve looks stunned for a few moments, but then collects himself. Steve says, no you're not. Mr. says, oh well, it was bloody worth a try, eh? Mr. tries to grab the flying banana, but Steve dodges out of the way. Steve. Alright. Steve. Alright. Steve dodges out of the way. Steve. Who's the daddy now? Huh? Huh? Unexpectedly, Mr. Twinkie slumps to the ground. Jesus. Jesus says, did he just faint? Steve says, I think so. Well, that's disappointing. I was rather hoping for some dramatic conclusion involving my deadly flying banana. Steve crouches over Mr. Twinkie's body. Jesus, be careful, Steve. It could be a trick. Or who knows, it could be. Alright. Steve. No, it's not a trick. It would seem that Mr. Twinkie is dead. Steve says... Okay, I think there was a bit of an error here. Alright, as you can see, we have two lines here. One from Steve, and then Steve responds to himself going, what? So he goes, no, it's not a trick. It seems that Mr. Twinkie is dead. And Steve goes, what? And then he replies to himself going, yes, it appears I scared him to death. Jesus claps his hands. So your flying banana did save the day after all, you crazy son of a gun. Rebel steps forward. Rebel, is it true? Did you kill the evil werewolf? Steve. Rebel, how long have you been? Rebel puts an arm around Steve. Rebel. Long enough, suppose. Steve. Then you saw it for yourself. I killed Mr. Twinkie. Rebel. Then the old ladies are safe. Steve. It does seem that way. A crowd of vulnerable old ladies enter, looking relieved. Rebel. You are their hero. The old ladies bow to Steve. Steve. There is no need to bow to me. I seek no worship. The knowledge that Mr. Twinkie will never kill old ladies again is enough for me. Rebel. You are humble as well as brave. One of the old ladies passes Steve a meteor heart. Rebel. I think they want you to have it as a symbol of their gratitude. Steve. I couldn't possibly. Pause. So that's a little bit of a dramatic thing, you know, accepting something, you know. Steve, well, if you're sis. Steve takes a heart. Steve, thank you. The old ladies bow their head once more and leave. Steve turns to Rebel. Steve, does that mean you want me back? Rebel goes, oh Steve, of course I want you back. Steve smiles for a few seconds. But then looks defiant. Steve, well, you can't have me. Rebel goes, what? You sick thicko. Steve, you had no faith in me. You had to see me scare my 𝗃𝗶𝗱𝗲 to death before you would have believe in me. I don't want a lover like that. Truly touching. Touches the whole soul, you know. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But, Rebel goes, but, Steve, please leave. I don't want to spend time with the one person who stayed with me through thick and thin. My best friend. Jesus. I got that wrong, okay? Jesus grins. But, Jesus, you heard the gentle. Then I'll be off with you. Skedaddle. Who? Steve. Steve? I'm sorry, Rebel. But I think you should skedaddle. What a truly crazy guy. Rebel turns. Jesus turns to Sneeve. I didn't mean that. Jesus turns to Steve. Jesus, did you mean that? You know, that I'm your best friend? Steve, of course you are. The two walk off, arm in arm. Jeeves suddenly stops. Jesus. When I said Mr. Twinkie hates big nipples, you know, I was just trying to distract the werewolf, don't you? That is the end. That is the end of my story, okay? Now, I plan on turning this into an actual film for next week's video. Well, not... I'm going to, of course, upload tomorrow, obviously, but I mean for next Friday's video, because I'm going to need a few days to work on the video. Now, it should be a friggin' masterpiece, okay? Prepare to nominate this film for Best Oscar of the Year, okay? Alright, so if you like this video, please smash the like, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.